As you settle into your cozy bed, close your eyes and imagine the tranquil beauty of Elara's sanctuary, where rare and exquisite flowers bloom under the golden sun. Picture the gentle princess, her fair hair shimmering in the sunlight as she tends to her beloved plants with a touch as gentle as the morning dew. Feel the soft hum of bees and the fragrant scent of jasmine and roses filling the air, creating a haven of peace and wonder. Imagine Elara's curiosity as she discovers a hidden corner of the garden, where a mysterious golden honeycomb glistens with an ethereal light, revealing secrets beyond the reach of ordinary mortals. As you listen to the enchanting tale of the golden honeycomb, allow the soothing words to guide your thoughts to a place of calm and magic. Let the gentle hum of the bees and the serene beauty of the garden carry you towards a restful sleep, filled with dreams of adventure and wonder. Take a deep breath, relax, and let the magic of Arathia lull you into a peaceful slumber. Sweet dreams, and may the whispers of nature bring you comfort and serenity throughout the night. Chapter 1. The Discovery. In the heart of the verdant kingdom of Arathia, Princess Elara was renowned not only for her beauty, but also for her profound love of nature. Her sanctuary was the royal garden, an enchanted haven brimming with rare and exquisite flora. Every morning, as the golden sun kissed the dew-laden petals, Elara could be found amidst the blooms, tending to her beloved plants with a gentle touch and a kind heart. One such morning, Elara wandered deeper into the garden than she had ever ventured before. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine and roses, and the soft hum of bees filled the tranquil space. She was lost in the serenity of her surroundings when a peculiar golden glow caught her eye. It emanated from a secluded corner, hidden by a curtain of ivy and climbing roses. Curiosity sparked within her, and she pushed aside the foliage to reveal the source of the mysterious light. There, nestled among the vibrant flowers, was a honeycomb unlike any she had ever seen. It glistened with an ethereal golden hue, and the bees that hovered around it seemed to emit a gentle, harmonious hum. Elara knelt beside the honeycomb, marveling at its beauty. She reached out tentatively, her fingers brushing against the smooth, waxy surface. As she touched it, a warm, tingling sensation spread through her hand, traveling up her arm and filling her entire being with a sense of calm and wonder. Suddenly, the bees' hum grew louder, more distinct, and Elara realized they were communicating with her. Their language was a symphony of buzzes and vibrations that she could somehow understand. They spoke of their queen, their hive, and their gratitude for her care of the garden. They also hinted at secrets yet to be revealed, mysteries that lay just beyond the reach of ordinary mortals. Elara's heart swelled with a mixture of excitement and awe. She had always felt a deep connection to nature, But this was something entirely new, something magical. She decided then and there to protect and nurture this enchanted honeycomb and the bees that had entrusted her with their secrets. As the day drew to a close, Elara reluctantly left the hidden corner, her mind buzzing with thoughts of the honeycomb and the extraordinary gift it had bestowed upon her. That night, she dreamt of a majestic queen bee, her wings shimmering like liquid gold, who spoke to her in a voice as sweet as honey. "Princess Elara," the queen bee said, "your kindness to the garden has not gone unnoticed. You have been chosen to receive a special gift, the ability to communicate with the bees. With this gift, you will uncover secrets and embark on adventures beyond your wildest dreams. Guard this gift well, for it is a rare and precious thing." Elara awoke with the queen bee's words echoing in her mind. She felt a newfound sense of purpose and a deeper connection to the natural world around her. The golden honeycomb had opened a door to a realm of wonder and enchantment, and Elara knew that her life would never be the same. She spent the following days eagerly exploring her garden, listening to the bees' stories and learning their language. They guided her to hidden flowers and whispered ancient tales of magic and harmony. Elara's bond with the bees grew stronger with each passing day, and she became their guardian and protector. But the bees also spoke of a hidden path, a secret that lay within the depths of the garden, waiting to be discovered. Elara's curiosity was piqued, and she knew that she must follow the bees' guidance to uncover the mysteries that awaited her. In the days that followed her discovery, Princess Elara found herself drawn repeatedly to the hidden corner of the garden where the golden honeycomb resided. Each visit deepened her fascination and strengthened her bond with the bees. The mysterious honeycomb was not just a beautiful object, it was a gateway to a world of secrets and enchantments. Elara noticed that the honeycomb seemed to pulse with a gentle light, especially at twilight. The golden glow was warm and inviting, casting an otherworldly aura over the surrounding flowers. She spent hours sitting beside it, listening to the bees' gentle hum and learning more about their intricate society. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the first stars began to twinkle in the sky, Elara experienced something extraordinary. She was sitting beside the honeycomb, her hand resting lightly on its surface, when she felt a sudden rush of warmth and energy. The bees' hum grew louder, and she could hear their voices more clearly than ever before. "Elara," they whispered, "the honeycomb you have found is a sacred artifact, blessed by the fairy queen herself. It holds the power of ancient magic and the essence of our hive. You, dear princess, have been chosen to guard this treasure and unlock its secrets." Elara's heart raced with excitement and a touch of trepidation. The weight of the bees' words settled over her, filling her with a sense of responsibility. She knew that this honeycomb was no ordinary object. It was a conduit of magic and mystery, and she was its guardian. Determined to understand more, Elara decided to consult the castle's ancient library. Within its dusty shelves lay volumes of forgotten lore and old legends. She spent hours poring over tomes and scrolls, searching for any mention of a golden honeycomb or the ability to communicate with bees. Her efforts were rewarded when she stumbled upon an ancient manuscript titled "The Secrets of the Enchanted Hive." The text was faded and worn, but Elara could make out enough to learn that the golden honeycomb was indeed a relic of immense power, created by the fairy queen to protect the balance of nature. The manuscript also hinted at a hidden path leading to the fairy hive, a place of great magic and wonder. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Elara felt a surge of determination. She returned to the garden, more resolved than ever to uncover the honeycomb's secrets. The bees welcomed her back with a joyful hum, their wings shimmering in the golden light. That night, Elara dreamt once more of the queen bee. "You are on the right path, Elara," the queen bee said. "Continue to trust in the magic of the honeycomb and the guidance of the bees. Your journey has only just begun." Elara awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that her connection to the honeycomb and the bees was the key to unlocking a greater mystery. The path to the fairy hive awaited her, and she was ready to follow it, no matter where it might lead. The morning after her latest dream, Elara awoke with a sense of anticipation. She returned to the hidden corner of her garden where the golden honeycomb resided, greeted by the gentle hum of the bees. As she approached, the bees swarmed around her in a delicate dance, their movements graceful and purposeful. "Elara, we have a gift for you," they buzzed in unison, their voices a harmonious melody. A group of bees hovered around the honeycomb, and to Elara's amazement, the honeycomb began to glow even brighter. The golden light intensified, forming intricate patterns that seemed to ripple and shimmer like liquid sunlight. Elara watched in awe as the light coalesced into a single radiant drop of golden honey. The drop floated towards her, suspended in the air by some unseen magic. Instinctively, she cupped her hands, and the drop settled gently in her palm, warm and vibrant. "Consume this, and you will be granted the ability to understand our language fully," the bees explained. "It will also strengthen the bond between you and the magic of the honeycomb." Elara hesitated only for a moment. Trusting in the bees and the guidance of her dreams, she brought the golden drop to her lips. The honey was unlike anything she had ever tasted, sweet and rich, with a depth of flavor that seemed to hold the essence of the entire garden. As the honey slid down her throat, a wave of warmth spread through her body. Her senses heightened, and she could feel the magic of the honeycomb pulsing in time with her heartbeat. The bees' hum grew clearer, each note distinct and meaningful. "Elara, can you hear us?" the bees asked, their voices now as clear as if they were speaking directly into her mind. "Yes, I can hear you," Elara replied, her voice filled with wonder. The bees' joy was palpable, their wings vibrating with excitement. With this newfound ability, Elara's understanding of the bees and their world deepened. She learned about their roles within the hive, the importance of their queen, and the delicate balance they maintained with the natural world. They taught her about the different types of flowers and plants, which ones provided the best nectar and which ones had healing properties. As days turned into weeks, Elara became an integral part of the bees' lives. She helped them gather nectar, protected them from predators, and ensured that their hive thrived. The bees, in turn, shared their wisdom and stories, revealing the ancient secrets of their enchanted world. But amid the harmony and learning, the bees reminded Elara of the hidden path she needed to find. "There is more to discover, Princess," they would buzz softly. "The path to the fairy hive is close, and it holds the answers you seek." Elara felt the pull of the hidden path growing stronger with each passing day. She knew that her journey with the bees was just the beginning, and that the true adventure awaited her in the depths of the forest. The golden honeycomb had given her a precious gift, and she was determined to honor it by uncovering the mysteries that lay ahead. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the garden was bathed in the soft glow of twilight, Elara gathered her courage. With the bees as her guides, she set out to find the hidden path that would lead her to the heart of the whispering hive and the secrets of the fairy realm. With the bees' gift of understanding, Elara felt as if a new world had opened up before her. Every hum and buzz now carried meaning, revealing the intricate language of the bees. She spent her days immersed in their conversations, learning the nuances of their communication and the depth of their wisdom. The bees shared tales of their ancestors, stories of bravery and sacrifice, and the rich history of the enchanted honeycomb. Elara discovered that the honeycomb was a conduit of ancient magic, created by the fairy queen to maintain harmony in the natural world. It was a treasure guarded by generations of bees, each chosen guardian adding to its power and mystique. One sunny afternoon, as Elara sat beside the honeycomb, the bees gathered around her in a swirling dance. "Elara," they hummed, "it is time for you to learn the deeper secrets of our language. You must understand the songs of the hive, for they hold the key to unlocking the hidden path." Elara listened intently as the bees began to teach her the songs. Each melody was unique, a blend of rhythmic vibrations and gentle hums that told stories of seasons past and the wisdom of the hive. The songs were beautiful and complex, weaving together the essence of the bee's world and the magic of the honeycomb. As Elara practiced the songs, she felt a profound connection to the bees and the garden. The flowers seemed to bloom brighter, their colors more vivid, and the air was filled with a sense of harmony and peace. The bees guided her through the melodies, their voices blending seamlessly with the natural symphony of the garden. One evening, as the first stars began to appear in the twilight sky, the bees led Elara to a secluded part of the garden. "Listen carefully," they instructed. "This is the song of the path. It will guide you to the hidden entrance to the fairy hive." Elara closed her eyes and focused on the song. It was a hauntingly beautiful melody, filled with longing and hope. As she sang, the garden seemed to respond, the flowers swaying gently in rhythm, and the air shimmering with a golden glow. The song resonated deep within her, and she felt a pull, a guiding force that beckoned her to follow. With the bees by her side, Elara set off in search of the hidden path. The song led her through winding trails and secret alcoves, each step bringing her closer to the heart of the forest. The bees' hums provided reassurance, their presence a constant reminder of the magic that bound them together. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Elara noticed the landscape changing. The trees grew taller and more ancient, their branches forming a canopy that filtered the moonlight into soft silver beams. The air was filled with the scent of wildflowers and the faint whisper of unseen creatures. Finally, they reached a clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center stood a towering oak tree, its trunk twisted with age and wisdom. At its base, hidden beneath a curtain of ivy, was the entrance to the hidden path. Elara felt a thrill of anticipation as she stepped forward. The bees buzzed around her, their voices filled with excitement. "This is the entrance to the Whispering Hive," they said. "You are about to enter a realm of great magic and beauty. Be brave, princess, for your journey has only just begun." With a deep breath, Elara parted the ivy and stepped onto the hidden path. The golden honeycomb had brought her here, and she knew that the secrets of the fairy realm awaited her. Guided by the bees and the song of the path, she ventured into the unknown, ready to uncover the mysteries that lay ahead. The hidden path wound its way through the heart of the ancient forest, each step leading Princess Elara deeper into a realm of enchantment. The canopy above shimmered with a faint magical glow, casting dappled patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The bees flitted around her, their hums a soothing melody that guided her forward. As Elara ventured further, the forest seemed to come alive. The trees whispered secrets to one another, their leaves rustling with ancient wisdom. Flowers with iridescent petals bloomed along the path, their vibrant colors glowing softly in the twilight. Every now and then, she caught glimpses of magical creatures, tiny fairies with gossamer wings, shy woodland sprites, and elusive forest nymphs, watching her with curious eyes. Elara's heart swelled with wonder and excitement. she felt a profound sense of belonging, as if she were walking through a dream woven from the very fabric of the magical world. The bee's song continued to guide her, its melody weaving a tapestry of enchantment that surrounded her like a protective cloak. After what felt like hours, the path began to widen, leading Elara to a magnificent glade. At its center stood a majestic oak tree, its trunk wide and gnarled with age. The tree's branches stretched high into the sky, draped with shimmering vines that sparkled like silver threads. Nestled at the base of the tree was a doorway, framed by ancient runes that glowed with a soft golden light. "This is the entrance to the Whispering Hive," the bees buzzed. "Beyond this door lies the realm of the Fairy Queen and her subjects. You must enter with a pure heart and an open mind, for the magic within is both powerful and delicate." Elara approached the doorway, her heart pounding with anticipation. She traced her fingers over the glowing runes, feeling the warmth of their magic seep into her skin. With a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The interior of the tree was a breathtaking sight. The walls were lined with honeycombs that pulsed with a gentle golden light. The air was filled with the sweet scent of honey and the soft hum of bees. In the center of the room stood a grand staircase, its steps carved from crystal and adorned with delicate flowers. "Elara, you have arrived!" a voice echoed through the chamber. It was the voice of the queen bee from her dreams, rich and melodious. "Welcome to the Whispering Hive." Elara looked up and saw the queen bee descending the staircase, her wings shimmering with iridescent hues. She was surrounded by a retinue of fairies, their wings fluttering gracefully as they hovered in the air. "Your journey has led you to us, and now it is time for you to meet the Fairy Queen," the queen bee said. "She has awaited your arrival and has much to share with you." With the bees and fairies as her guides, Elara followed the queen bee up the crystal staircase. Each step brought her closer to the heart of the hive, where the Fairy Queen resided. The walls of the hive glowed brighter, and the hum of the bees grew louder, resonating with a powerful ancient magic. As they reached the top of the staircase, Elara found herself standing before a pair of grand doors, intricately carved with scenes of nature and magic. The doors swung open silently, revealing a magnificent chamber bathed in golden light. At its center stood the Fairy Queen, her presence radiant and ethereal. "Welcome, Princess Elara," the Fairy Queen said, her voice as soft as a summer breeze. "You have traveled far and shown great courage. Now it is time for you to learn the secrets of the hive and the magic that binds us all." Elara stepped forward, her heart filled with awe and reverence. The journey had been long and wondrous, but she knew that the true adventure was only just beginning. As Princess Elara stepped into the magnificent chamber, she was struck by the ethereal beauty that surrounded her. The walls shimmered with golden honeycombs that pulsed gently with a warm, inviting light. The air was filled with the sweet scent of honey and the soft, harmonious hum of bees. It was as if the entire room was alive, breathing in sync with the magic that flowed through the hive. At the center of the chamber stood the Fairy Queen, radiant and resplendent. Her gown was woven from the finest silks, adorned with delicate flowers that seemed to bloom and wilt with her every breath. Her wings, translucent and shimmering with a spectrum of colors, fluttered gently behind her. She exuded an aura of grace and wisdom, her presence commanding yet comforting. "Welcome, Princess Elara," the Fairy Queen said, her voice as soothing as a lullaby. "You have shown great courage and kindness, and for that we are eternally grateful. The bees have spoken highly of you, and I see now why they have chosen you to receive their gift." Elara curtsied, her heart pounding with a mixture of awe and excitement. "Thank you, Your Majesty," she replied. "It is an honor to be here and to have the opportunity to learn from you and the bees." The Fairy Queen smiled, her eyes twinkling with warmth. "You have already learned much, but there is still more to discover. The honeycomb you found is a powerful artifact, one that holds the essence of our magic and the history of our people. It is a link between our worlds, and it has chosen you to be its guardian." Elara listened intently as the Fairy Queen explained the significance of the golden honeycomb. It was created long ago by the first Fairy Queen, infused with the magic of the hive to protect and preserve the balance of nature. The honeycomb was a source of great power, capable of communicating with all creatures of the forest and guiding those who were pure of heart. "The honeycomb has sensed your love for nature and your kind spirit," the Fairy Queen continued. "It has bestowed upon you the ability to understand the bees and to share in their wisdom. But this gift comes with great responsibility. You must use it to protect the hive and the magic it holds." Elara nodded, feeling the weight of the Fairy Queen's words. "I will do everything in my power to protect the hive and honor the gift that has been given to me." The Fairy Queen extended her hand, and a soft golden light enveloped Elara. She felt a surge of warmth and energy, as if the magic of the hive was flowing through her veins. "Take this blessing, Princess Elara," the Fairy Queen said. "It will strengthen your bond with the bees and guide you on your journey. Remember, you are never alone. The bees and the fairies will always be with you." With the blessing of the Fairy Queen, Elara felt a newfound sense of purpose and determination. She knew that her journey was just beginning, and that there were many challenges and adventures ahead. But she was ready, her heart filled with the magic of the hive and the wisdom of the bees. As she left the chamber and made her way back through the forest, Elara felt the presence of the bees all around her. Their hum was a constant reminder of the bond they shared. a bond that would guide and protect her in the days to come. The hidden path led her back to her enchanted garden, where the golden honeycomb awaited. Elara knelt beside it, her fingers tracing the intricate patterns of its surface. "I promise to protect you and the magic you hold," she whispered. "Together, we will ensure that the balance of nature is preserved and that the secrets of the hive remain safe." With that vow, Princess Elara began a new chapter in her life, one filled with magic, mystery, and the enduring bond between her and the bees. The golden honeycomb had chosen her for a reason, and she was determined to honor that choice, no matter where the path might lead. Chapter 2: The Fairy Realm. The message from the Fairy Queen was clear. Elara was to return to the Whispering Hive, for there was much she needed to learn about her role and the magic she now guarded. With the bees by her side, Elara made her way back to the hidden path, her heart filled with anticipation and a touch of trepidation. As she stepped through the entrance once more, the forest seemed to welcome her back, its ancient trees whispering secrets of the past and the future. The path wound its way through the heart of the forest, leading Elara to the magnificent oak tree that marked the entrance to the Whispering Hive. The door, framed by glowing runes, swung open at her touch, and Elara stepped inside. The chamber was just as she remembered, bathed in golden light and filled with the soothing hum of bees. The Fairy Queen awaited her at the top of the crystal staircase, her presence as radiant as ever. "Welcome back, Elara," she said, her voice a melody of warmth and grace. "There is much for you to learn and understand." Elara ascended the staircase, her steps light and her heart steady. As she reached the top, the Fairy Queen led her to a smaller, more intimate chamber filled with ancient books and scrolls. "This is the Hall of Wisdom," the Fairy Queen explained. "Here, you will learn the secrets of the hive and the magic that binds our world." For days, Elara immersed herself in the texts, guided by the Fairy Queen and the bees. She learned about the history of the fairy realm, the creation of the golden honeycomb, and the delicate balance of nature that it maintained. Each lesson deepened her understanding and strengthened her resolve to protect the magic she had been entrusted with. One evening, as Elara studied a particularly ancient scroll, the Fairy Queen approached her. "Elara, it is time for you to understand the true power of the honeycomb," she said. "This artifact holds not only the essence of our magic, but also the key to communicating with all creatures of the forest. It is a bridge between our worlds, and it must be protected at all costs." Elara listened intently as the Fairy Queen continued. "The honeycomb was created by the first Fairy Queen, infused with the magic of the hive and the wisdom of the ancients. It is a source of great power, but it is also vulnerable to those who seek to exploit it. You must be vigilant, for there are dark forces that would do anything to possess its magic." The weight of the Fairy Queen's words settled over Elara, filling her with a sense of responsibility and determination. "I understand, Your Majesty," she replied. "I will do everything in my power to protect the honeycomb and ensure that its magic is used for good." The Fairy Queen smiled, her eyes filled with pride. "I have faith in you, Elara. You have shown great courage and kindness, and I know that you will be a wise and steadfast guardian. Remember, the bees and the fairies are always with you, and together we will protect the magic of the hive." With the Fairy Queen's blessing, Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that her journey was far from over, and that there were many challenges yet to come. But she was ready, her heart filled with the magic of the hive and the wisdom of the fairies. As she left the Hall of Wisdom and returned to her garden, Elara felt a deep connection to the fairy realm and the creatures that inhabited it. The bees hummed around her, their voices a constant reminder of the bond they shared and the magic they protected. Elara knew that she was not alone in her quest, and that with the guidance of the Fairy Queen and the support of the bees, she could face whatever challenges lay ahead. Elara spent her days in a delicate balance between her enchanted garden and the hidden realm of the Whispering Hive. Each visit to the hive revealed new layers of wisdom and enchantment. The bees and the fairies became her trusted companions, guiding her through the mysteries of their world. One afternoon, as the sun cast long shadows over the garden, the bees summoned Elara with an urgent hum. She followed them back to the Whispering Hive, her heart racing with anticipation. The Fairy Queen awaited her in the Hall of Wisdom, her expression both serene and serious. "Today, you will learn the deepest secret of the hive," the Fairy Queen said. "It is a knowledge that has been passed down through generations, guarded fiercely by the bees and the fairies. The golden honeycomb you found is not merely an artifact of power. It is the heart of our magic, the core from which all our enchantments flow." Elara listened intently as the Fairy Queen continued. "The honeycomb contains the essence of our realm's magic, a delicate balance of light and harmony. It is also a living entity, connected to every creature in the forest. To understand its true power, you must connect with it on a deeper level." The Fairy Queen led Elara to a secluded chamber within the hive, its walls lined with shimmering honeycombs that pulsed with a golden light. In the center of the chamber stood the original golden honeycomb, radiating an aura of ancient magic. The bees swarmed around it, their hums resonating with the very air itself. "Place your hands on the honeycomb, Elara," the Fairy Queen instructed. "Let its magic flow through you and open your heart to its secrets." With a deep breath, Elara stepped forward and placed her hands on the honeycomb. A surge of warmth and energy coursed through her body, filling her with a profound sense of connection and understanding. She closed her eyes and let the magic envelop her, merging her essence with that of the hive. Visions flooded her mind. Images of the first fairy queen crafting the honeycomb, imbuing it with the magic of the forest and the wisdom of the ancients. She saw the bees and fairies working together, their efforts weaving a tapestry of harmony and light. The honeycomb was the heart of this magic, a beacon of hope and protection for all who lived within the enchanted realm. As the visions faded, Elara opened her eyes, her heart brimming with awe and reverence. "I understand now," she said softly. "The honeycomb is not just a source of power. It is the embodiment of the unity and balance that sustains our world." The fairy queen nodded, her expression filled with pride. "You have seen the truth, Elara. The honeycomb is the heart of our realm, and its magic flows through all of us. Your bond with it is strong, and you are now ready to protect it with all your heart." Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. She knew that her role as the guardian of the honeycomb was more important than ever, and that she must be vigilant against any threats that sought to disrupt the balance of the enchanted realm. As she left the secluded chamber and returned to her garden, Elara felt the magic of the honeycomb pulsing within her. The bees buzzed around her, their voices filled with encouragement and support. She knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but she was ready to face it with courage and wisdom. The secrets of the hive were now a part of her, and with the guidance of the fairy queen and the strength of her bond with the bees, Elara was prepared to protect the magic that sustained their world. The days that followed were filled with a renewed sense of purpose for Elara. She diligently tended to her garden and the hive, the bond between her and the bees growing ever stronger. However, a shadow loomed over the enchanted realm, a darkness that Elara could feel creeping into her thoughts. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the forest in hues of amber and crimson, the bees buzzed with a sense of urgency. They led Elara back to the whispering hive, where the fairy queen awaited her with a grave expression. "Elara, we have sensed a dark presence encroaching upon our realm," the fairy queen said, her voice filled with concern. "A malevolent sorcerer seeks to exploit the magic of the honeycomb for his own gain. His intentions are to corrupt the balance of nature and plunge our world into chaos." Elara's heart tightened with fear and determination. "What must we do to stop him, Your Majesty?" she asked, her voice resolute. "We must fortify our defenses and prepare for battle," the fairy queen replied. "But first, you must understand the nature of this threat. The sorcerer's power is drawn from the shadows, and he seeks to harness the magic of the honeycomb to amplify his own dark spells." Elara felt a surge of anger at the thought of the honeycomb's magic being used for such nefarious purposes. "I will do whatever it takes to protect the honeycomb and our realm," she vowed. The fairy queen placed a gentle hand on Elara's shoulder. "You are brave, Elara, but you must also be wise. The sorcerer is cunning and will not be easily defeated. We must gather allies and devise a strategy to confront him. Over the next few days, Elara and the Fairy Queen worked tirelessly to prepare for the impending battle. They enlisted the help of the fairies and the bees, each member of the enchanted realm playing a crucial role in their plan. The fairies wove protective spells around the hive, while the bees gathered intelligence on the sorcerer's movements. Elara's nights were filled with dreams of the sorcerer, his dark presence a constant reminder of the threat they faced. She could see his eyes, cold and filled with malice, and she knew that the final confrontation was drawing near. One morning, as Elara was tending to her garden, the bees delivered alarming news. The sorcerer has gathered his forces and is moving towards the hive. They buzzed anxiously. We must act quickly. Elara felt a surge of adrenaline and fear, but she steeled herself for the battle ahead. "We are ready," she said, her voice unwavering. "Let us protect our realm and the magic of the honeycomb." The Fairy Queen assembled their forces at the entrance to the Whispering Hive. The fairies stood with their wings shimmering in the sunlight, their faces set with determination. The bees formed a protective swarm, their hums resonating with power and unity. As the sorcerer and his dark army approached, the air grew thick with tension. The sorcerer, cloaked in shadows, sneered at the assembled defenders. "You cannot stop me," he taunted. "The magic of the honeycomb will be mine, and your precious realm will fall into darkness." Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding with resolve. "You will not take our magic," she declared. "We stand united against you." The sorcerer laughed, his voice echoing with malevolence. "Then prepare to be destroyed," he snarled, raising his hands to cast a dark spell. The battle began, a clash of light and shadow, hope and despair. Elara fought with all her strength, her connection to the honeycomb fueling her every move. The fairies and bees stood by her side, their combined magic creating a barrier of light that held back the sorcerer's darkness. As the battle raged on, Elara knew that the final confrontation was imminent. She steeled herself for the challenge, determined to protect the magic of the honeycomb and restore balance to their realm. Amid the chaos of battle, the air crackled with energy, and the forest seemed to hold its breath. Elara knew that defeating the sorcerer would require more than just strength. It would require cunning and the full power of the honeycomb's magic. She glanced at the Fairy Queen, who nodded in silent understanding. It was time to venture to the heart of the hive, where the magic was strongest. "Elara!" the Fairy Queen called, her voice cutting through the din of the battle. "We must go to the heart of the hive. Only there can we harness the full power of the honeycomb." With a swift command, the Fairy Queen led Elara and a select group of fairies and bees through a concealed passageway that wound deeper into the hive. The sounds of the battle faded behind them as they descended into the heart of the hive, a place where the magic of the realm was at its most potent. The passageway opened into a vast cavern, its walls lined with honeycombs that glowed with an intense golden light. At the center of the cavern stood the original golden honeycomb, its radiance filling the space with a warm, protective glow. The air was thick with the hum of bees and the soft whisper of fairy wings. "Ilara, place your hands on the honeycomb," the fairy queen instructed. "Focus on the magic within and let it flow through you. We must channel its power to create a barrier strong enough to repel the sorcerer's dark magic." Ilara approached the honeycomb, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. She placed her hands on its smooth, waxy surface and closed her eyes, reaching out with her mind to connect with the magic within. A surge of warmth and energy flooded through her, filling her with a sense of unity and strength. The fairies and bees formed a circle around her, their voices rising in a harmonious chant that resonated with the very walls of the cavern. The golden light of the honeycomb intensified, enveloping Ilara in a cocoon of magic. She could feel the power of the hive flowing through her, a river of light and energy that pulsed in time with her heartbeat. As the magic reached its peak, Ilara raised her hands, directing the energy outward. The golden light expanded, forming a protective barrier that radiated from the heart of the hive and spread throughout the forest. The barrier shimmered like a golden shield, impenetrable and filled with the essence of the hive's magic. Outside the cavern, the sorcerer's dark magic collided with the barrier, sparks flying as light met shadow. The sorcerer's face twisted in rage and frustration as his spells were repelled by the golden shield. "This cannot be," he roared, his voice echoing through the forest. "You cannot stop me!" Ilara opened her eyes, her gaze steady and filled with resolve. "Your darkness has no place here," she said, her voice calm and unwavering. "The magic of the honeycomb will protect us, and we will not let you destroy our realm." The sorcerer's eyes blazed with fury, but he could see that his dark magic was no match for the combined strength of the honeycomb and the unity of the fairies and bees. With a final, frustrated scream, he turned and fled into the shadows, his dark army dissolving into mist as they retreated. The barrier held, its golden light casting a warm glow over the forest. The fairies and bees let out a collective sigh of relief, their voices filled with joy and gratitude. Ilara stepped back from the honeycomb, her heart filled with a sense of triumph and peace. "We did it," she said softly, looking around at her companions. "We protected the hive and our realm." The fairy queen approached Ilara, her eyes shining with pride. "You were brave and wise, Ilara. The magic of the honeycomb has recognized your strength and purity of heart. You are a true guardian of the hive." Ilara smiled, her heart filled with gratitude and a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that their journey was not yet over, but they had taken a crucial step in protecting the magic of their realm and ensuring that harmony and light would prevail. The protective barrier held strong, its golden light shimmering across the enchanted forest. Yet, despite the sorcerer's retreat, Elara knew that the threat was not entirely vanquished. The sorcerer's dark influence lingered, a shadow that sought to reclaim the power of the honeycomb. In the heart of the whispering hive, the fairy queen gathered the fairies and bees for a council. We have thwarted the sorcerer's initial assault, but he will not rest until he possesses the magic of the honeycomb. We must prepare for his return, she declared, her voice resolute. Elara stood beside the fairy queen, her heart filled with determination. We must strengthen the barrier and fortify our defenses, she said. The sorcerer's power grows in the shadows, but together we can protect our realm and the magic of the honeycomb. The fairies and bees nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. They dispersed to their tasks, weaving spells of protection and gathering allies from across the enchanted forest. Elara worked tirelessly, guided by the wisdom of the bees and the ancient magic of the hive. As days turned into weeks, the forest buzzed with activity. The fairies crafted intricate wards and charms, while the bees reinforced the hive's defenses. Elara spent her nights in the Hall of Wisdom, studying ancient texts and honing her connection to the honeycomb's magic. She knew that the final battle was approaching, and she was determined to be ready. One moonlit night, as Elara meditated beside the honeycomb, a sense of foreboding washed over her. The air grew cold, and the shadows seemed to deepen. She stood and called for the fairy queen, her heart pounding with urgency. "The sorcerer is near," Elara said, her voice steady despite the fear that gripped her. "We must be ready." The fairy queen nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "To your positions, everyone," she commanded. "The time has come to defend our realm." The fairies and bees took their places, their magic intertwining to form a formidable defense. The golden barrier shimmered brightly, casting a protective glow over the forest. Elara stood at the forefront, her hands resting on the honeycomb, ready to channel its power. The sorcerer emerged from the shadows, his eyes blazing with dark intent. "You think you can stop me?" he sneered, his voice dripping with malice. "The magic of the honeycomb will be mine, and your precious realm will fall." Elara stepped forward, her heart filled with resolve. "We stand united against you," she declared. "The magic of the honeycomb is a force of light and harmony, and it will not be corrupted by your darkness." With a roar of anger, the sorcerer unleashed a torrent of dark magic. Shadows writhed and twisted, crashing against the golden barrier. The fairies and bees responded in kind, their combined magic forming a shield of light that repelled the sorcerer's attacks. Elara focused on the honeycomb, channeling its power through her veins. The golden light intensified, radiating outward in waves of pure energy. She could feel the strength of the hive and the unity of the enchanted realm fueling her every move. The battle raged on, a clash of light and darkness that shook the very foundation of the forest. The sorcerer's dark magic was powerful, but the combined strength of the fairies, bees, and Elara's connection to the honeycomb proved to be a formidable force. In a final, desperate bid for victory, the sorcerer gathered all his remaining power and launched a massive assault. Shadows swirled and converged, forming a dark vortex that threatened to engulf the hive. Elara, her heart blazing with determination, raised her hands and called upon the full might of the honeycomb. A blinding light erupted from the heart of the hive, enveloping the sorcerer and his dark magic. The shadows dissipated, and the sorcerer let out a scream of defeat as he was consumed by the light. The golden barrier held firm, its glow signaling the triumph of light over darkness. As the light faded, the forest fell silent. The sorcerer was gone, his dark influence banished. The fairies and bees cheered, their voices filled with joy and relief. Elara, her strength spent, collapsed to the ground, a smile of triumph on her lips. The fairy queen knelt beside her, her eyes filled with pride. "You have done it, Elara," she said softly. "The honeycomb's magic is safe, and our realm is protected." Elara nodded, her heart filled with a profound sense of peace. "We did it together," she replied. "The magic of the honeycomb, the unity of the hive, and the strength of our bond have prevailed." As dawn broke over the enchanted forest, the fairies and bees celebrated their victory. The honeycomb's golden light shone brightly, a beacon of hope and harmony for all who dwelled within the realm. With the sorcerer defeated and his dark magic banished, a sense of tranquility settled over the enchanted forest. The golden light of the honeycomb continued to radiate, its warm glow a constant reminder of the unity and strength that had protected their realm. Elara felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that their victory had ensured the safety and harmony of the hive. The fairy queen called for a grand celebration, inviting all the creatures of the forest to join in the festivities. The fairies adorned the trees with garlands of flowers, and the bees buzzed joyfully as they created intricate patterns in the air. Elara watched with a smile, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. As the celebration began, the fairy queen approached Elara, her eyes shining with warmth. "You have shown great courage and wisdom, Elara," she said. "The magic of the honeycomb has recognized your pure heart, and you have proven to be a true guardian of our realm." Elara bowed her head humbly. "It was the strength of our unity that made this victory possible," she replied. "The fairies, The bees and the magic of the honeycomb all played a part in protecting our realm. The fairy queen nodded. Indeed. And now it is time for you to be recognized for your bravery. She raised her hand, and a soft golden light enveloped Elara. As a token of our gratitude, I bestow upon you the title of Guardian of the Hive. You shall be our protector and the keeper of the honeycomb's magic. Elara felt the warmth of the magic settling over her, filling her with a sense of purpose and responsibility. "Thank you, Your Majesty," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "I will honor this title and continue to protect our realm with all my heart." The celebration continued into the night with music, dancing, and feasting. The creatures of the forest came together in a display of unity and joy, their voices rising in a harmonious chorus. Elara danced among them, her spirit light and her heart full of happiness. As the night wore on, Elara found a quiet moment to reflect on the journey that had brought her here. She thought of the day she had discovered the golden honeycomb in her garden and the incredible adventures that had followed. She had learned the language of the bees, uncovered the secrets of the hive, and faced down a dark sorcerer. Through it all, she had grown stronger and more connected to the magic of the honeycomb. Elara looked up at the stars, their light twinkling like the magic that flowed through the enchanted forest. She knew that her journey was far from over, and that there would be more challenges and adventures ahead. But she felt ready to face them, knowing that she was not alone. The fairies and bees would always be by her side, their bond unbreakable. The next morning, as the first light of dawn kissed the treetops, Elara stood in her garden, the golden honeycomb glowing gently beside her. She felt the magic of the hive flowing through her, a constant source of strength and guidance. The bees buzzed around her, their hums a melody of support and friendship. Elara smiled, her heart at peace. She had found her place in the enchanted realm, and she knew that she would continue to protect and nurture the magic of the honeycomb. With the fairy queen's blessing and the love of the bees, she felt ready to face whatever the future might bring. As the sun rose higher, casting its golden light over the garden, Elara took a deep breath and began her day. The harmony of the hive was restored, and with it, the promise of a bright and magical future for all who dwelled in the enchanted forest.